Hi, I'm Mel, and I made this channel after I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I realized what a stigma there was attached to it, and I wanted to bring some awareness and acceptance to the fact that people who have borderline personality disorder are not bad people. It has been a rough almost 2 years since then, and some things that I've been remembering from my childhood, some things I've been talking to my psychiatrist and my psychologist about point to the fact that I may be more than borderline. I may be autistic. And I say maybe, but I know I am. 3 weeks ago I would have said no way. My son is autistic, and he is amazing, and he is a genius, and I have a hard time comparing myself to the autistic community because they seem so amazing, and I feel like I am nothing. So I think I probably do have borderline personality disorder, but I think I am, and it's really hard for me to say it. I keep wanting to say, but I think I am also autistic. Self-diagnosis is valid, especially because it's very hard to get a diagnosis as an adult, especially an adult female. To even get in for the evaluation is difficult. Even though self-diagnosis is valid in the autistic community, it's hard for me because I feel like a fraud. I feel like I'm pretending. And I know that a lot of that stems back to when I was little and my mom shamed me. My mom shamed me into stopping stimming. I was basically told that if I was doing that, I was making fun of people. And I suppose in my mom's eyes, that must have been it, because I could talk, I could spell very early on, I could read, and there's my kids. Unless you want to go to bed right now, you need to go get in your rooms. Thank you. Now I have no idea where I was. Oh, so 37 years ago, that isn't what autism was. And so to my mom, maybe she really thought I was making fun of people and doing that, but I wasn't. And even now, when I catch myself doing anything like that, I feel very guilty. And if someone else sees me doing it, I feel mortified and not embarrassed. Not like, oh my God, I can't believe that they think I'm autistic. But like, oh my God, they think I'm making fun of people. And I think that is the hardest thing for me to get over. I really wanted to do this right now because showers are hard, and I took a shower and I look good, and I just wanted to be able to sit down and do this quick. And I know if I don't, I won't have the motivation to do it. But my 4-year-old seems to have other thoughts. I don't know if I keep trying or if I just give up. I give up. So my kids are in bed now. I don't know if I'm going to combine this with the other video or what, but here we go again. Except I forgot to turn the light on this time. That's a lot brighter than I remembered it being beforehand. Okay. I recently changed therapists, and my new therapist suggested that perhaps I am autistic, like my son. And I think that she's right. At the time, I didn't think she was right. Over the next few weeks, I began to think she was right. And about a week ago, I realized she was right. I was an autistic child. I had a lot of autistic traits as a child, and I do not believe that autism is a disease. I do not believe it can be cured, and I do not believe that you grow out of it. So if I was an autistic child, I am an autistic adult. And even though self-diagnosis is valid in the autistic community, and even though regular formal diagnosis is hard and expensive possibly, I'm still going to try and get a formal diagnosis. And it isn't to prove it to anybody else. It is so that I can prove to myself that I am not an imposter, that I am not pretending to be autistic. So you might ask, what are these traits that I exhibited as a child that make me believe I was an autistic child? And I would say that the most evident was stinning, hand flapping. And I remember my mom telling me that if I was doing that, it meant I was making fun of disabled people. That was not the word she used, but that's the word she should have used. And I was shamed into stopping. I was taught alternatives, like twiddling my thumbs. Fun. It's really fun. No, really. And even flicking my earlobe was allowed, which is very close to this time I wanted. Just this. But I get what that looks like. Even now, I get what that looks like, and I don't even know if I will leave that in because it is very. I'm very self-conscious about it. And I'm not self-conscious like, oh my god, I don't want people to think I'm autistic. I can't do that. I'm self-conscious like, oh my god, I don't want people to think I'm making fun of people. So I can't do that. And that's why I want the diagnosis. For me. Not for you guys. Not for my family. Not for anyone but me. Other traits I had as a child, other than the hand flapping, I had a really hard time making friends. And when I made a friend, I clung to them like I just clung to them like I wasn't letting go. They were my special interest for however long they stayed in my life. And sometimes I would get a new special interest, be that another friend or another thing, and then I would kind of lose interest in my last friends. I didn't realize that's what was happening. I just kind of felt like they didn't like me anymore. And maybe to a point that is it. It can be a little much. When people are around me for a long time, they tend to be annoyed, irritated. I talk a lot, but I'm very flighty in my conversation. I have a hard time paying attention if it isn't something I'm super interested in. And I'm really bad about changing the subject to something that I am interested in. I don't do it on purpose. It's just what happens. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten more aware of it. And a lot of it, honestly, was from treating the borderline personality disorder. With DBT and things like that, it made me feel like I could understand what I was doing was wrong, or that I was seeing things wrong, but it didn't explain everything. It doesn't explain everything. Um, Maybe a video for another day, but one of the symptoms of borderline personality disorder is favorite person, where you fixate on one person and you basically cannot, you feel like you can't live or breathe without them. And it wasn't until this last 2 weeks of my immersion into the adult autistic community that I realized that is a special interest. Just like dogs and rabbits and all of those things were as a child for me, so were people. I wanted to fit in, and the easiest way to fit in my mind was to be just like the person I wanted to be around. Because I guess it doesn't occur to me that people don't like themselves. So people would get pretty annoyed pretty quick. Still happens, actually. Hi guys, I don't really know what happened at the end of that video, but I forgot to say thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified whenever I do upload new things, because I will upload new things. Alright guys, have a great night.